Most students recognize this formula, but do not have an idea on how to use it. Here's how. Before we actually use this formula, we have to think whether there is an easier way to solve the equation. This is the first example. If you see x squared followed up by a number, and that number happens to be a perfect square. What is a perfect square? These are perfect squares. 2 square is 4, 4 is a perfect square, 3 square is 9, 9 is a perfect square, 16, 25, and so on. So what do you do in this case? Just draw two brackets like this. X here, one more x here. How do we get 16? 4 times 4. We put a 4 here, we put a 4 here. And 1 we will put plus, 1 we will put minus. Then we can solve this by equating x plus 4 equals to 0. We will get x to negative 4. X minus 4 equals to 0. We will get x equals to 4. As simple as that. Now let's look at the second example, where we actually have a number in front of the x square. In this case, the number is 3. So what do we do in this situation? It's very easy. We just actually have to factor out the number 3. Take the 3, put it outside, draw a bracket, x squared. 3 times what do we get? 75. 25. Then we equate to 0. If you look inside the bracket over here, it looks very similar to the example we have done before. It's a perfect square. So what do? We take the 3, we put it outside again. We do not want to disturb the number 3 here. Now, how do we do the perfect square? We draw two brackets here, equals to 0. Put x here, the number 5. One more number 5 here, plus, minus. It's as simple as that. Now we look at the third example, where we have like a normal quadratic equation. We have x squared, we have something x, and we have a number that is equals to 0. So how do we factor this without using the quadratic formula? So what must we do here is actually find two numbers that when you times those two numbers, you will get the number 3, and those two numbers will add or subtract, and you will get negative 2. It might seem very confusing, but let's do it slowly. So let's look at this number behind here. We have negative 3. What two numbers, when you times it, you will get negative 3? You will get 1, negative 3, 3, negative 1. Is there anything else? I don't think so. I think those are it. And what number do we get negative 2 when we plus or minus? Let's see this. So 1 plus negative 3. Yes, we can get negative 2 here. 1 minus negative 3, it's 4. So it's definitely not this. How about 3 and negative 1? 3 plus negative 1, we get 2. Not negative 2, but we get 2. We cannot use that. Now let's do 3 minus negative 1. You will get 4, and it's just wrong. So we only have one possibility here. So what do we do in this situation? We draw two brackets just like this, equal to 0. Put an x here, put one more x here. We have 1, we have negative 3. Just put plus 1 minus 3 equals to 0. That's it. Now we just equate x plus 1 equals to 0, x equals to negative 1, x minus 3 equals to 0, and x equals to 3. So you got two values, x equals to negative 1 and x equals to 3. Now let's look at another example of this type of question. So we have x squared plus 7x minus 18. How can we get the negative 18? 1 times negative 18 times 1, 2 times negative 9, 9 times negative 2. Then we have 3 times negative 6 and negative 3 times 6. And what two numbers, if we plus or subtract, do we get 7? 1 and 18, nope. 18, 1, nope. These two maybe. 3 and 6, not. And 3 and 6, not. Now let's look at 2 and negative 9. So if we 2 plus negative 9, we get negative 7. It's negative 7, not positive 7. How about 2 minus negative 9, we get 11. So we can cancel out that too. Now let's look at 9 plus negative 2. Ooh, we actually get 7 here. We don't have to do anymore. We can straight away factorize, draw two brackets, just like this, equal to 0. Put one x here, one x here. It's 9 negative 2, so plus 9 minus 2. So x plus 9 equals to 0, x equals to negative 9. X minus 2 equals to 0, and x is equal to 2. Now, let's actually learn how to use the quadratic formula. It might seem overwhelming with this b, a, c, but it's really simple. What's a? A is the coefficient of the x squared. In front of the x squared, we just have the number 1. So a is 1. B is the coefficient of x. In front of x, we have negative 2. Not 2, but negative 2. And C is just we take the number as it is. So it's negative 3. Now all that's left is just to sub into the formula, get the answer, boom, done. So x equals to negative 2 plus minus b squared, which is negative 2 squared, minus 4. A is 1, c is negative 3, over 2a, which is 2 times 1. Now this will result in 2 plus minus negative 2 squared is just 4, minus negative 4 times 1 times negative 3, we will get positive 12 over 2. We can simplify this. We will get 16, which is equal to just 4. So we can write it as 2 plus minus 4 over 2. Now since we have plus, minus, we have two different operations here. So we must split them into 2. First is x equals to 2 plus 4 over 2. One more is x equals to 2 minus 4 over 2. This one will result us in 6 over 2, which is just 3. And this is negative 2 over 2, negative 1. So that's it. We have x equals to 3 and x equals to negative 1. It's very simple. You just have to know what is a, what is b, what is c, sub into the formula, and just get the answer. Most of the time, the answer won't be a perfect number, a round number. It could be fractions, it could be decimal places. So that's all